You're watching KSG News, where you get all the latest from across the globe to help with your exam preparations. We begin with updates related to GS Paper 3. A bill to increase foreign direct investment limit in the insurance sector to 74% from the current 49% was approved by the Rajya Sabha on the 18th of March 2021. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said foreign investment will supplement domestic long-term resources with a view to further insurance penetration in the country. Now, what does this mean? The decision to increase the FDI limit to 74% was taken after sector regulator IRDAI held detailed consultations with stakeholders. As per the bill, the majority of directors on the board and key management persons would be resident Indians, with at least 50% of directors being independent directors and specified percentage of profits being retained as a general reserve. It was in 2015 when the government had last hiked the FDI cap in the insurance sector from 26% to 49%. Increase in FDI is aimed at improving life insurance penetration in the country. Life insurance premium as a percentage of GDP is 3.6% in the country, way below the global average of 7.13%, and in case of general insurance, it is even worse at 0.94% of GDP as against the world average of 2.88%. Moving on to updates related to GS Paper 2, this is in connection with international relations, as China's increasing aggressiveness to undermine European unity through a divide and rule policy continues. The Central and Eastern Europe or CEE member countries have responded by accepting their own way to deal with the increasing threat of Beijing's influence, known as the Sinatra Doctrine. This Sinatra Doctrine is being seen by scholars as a threat and a blowback to China's growing influence in the CEE. Now, what does this mean? The doctrine would be based on two pillars: continuing cooperation with China in regards to addressing global challenges such as climate change, combating COVID-19 and regional conflicts, while also strengthening the European Union's strategic sovereignty by protecting technological sectors of its economy. China's credit-based offer in a neo-colonial fashion has proven ill-suited for the CEE members of the EU. Moreover, Chinese investments in the 12 EU member states participating in the 17+1 initiative between 2010 to 2019 has been approximately 8.6 billion euros, whereas China's investment over the same period in Finland has been 12 billion euros, or in the Netherlands has been 10.2 billion euros, which remained a major turnoff for these member countries. This mismatch between Beijing's economic promises and ultimate outcome has been a major reason for the discontent that the CEE member countries share with China. The COVID-19 pandemic has highlighted some of the weaknesses in the relationship between Europeans and the communist nation, as highlighted by European Union Foreign Policy Chief Joseph Borrell in the Sinatra Doctrine, which calls for building a united front and EU's response against a more assertive, expansionist and authoritarian China. In some more updates related to GS Paper 2, this is also in connection with international affairs. The Indo-US Science and Technology Forum's US-India Artificial Intelligence Initiative was launched on the 17th of March 2021. The Indo-US relationship in the field of science and technology has seen very old collaborations which have resulted in great benefits for both the countries that need to further scale it up in the various fields, and artificial intelligence can play a major role in the future. Now, what is the significance of this? The initiative focuses on AI cooperation in critical areas that are priorities for both countries. The US-India AI initiative will provide an opportunity for key stakeholder groups to share experiences, identify new R&D areas and opportunities that would benefit from synergistic activities, discuss the emerging AI landscape, and address the challenges of developing an AI workforce. The ambitious flagship initiative USIAI leverages Indo-US Science and Technology Forum's unique ability to bring together key stakeholders from India and the United States to create synergies that address challenges and opportunities at the interface of science, technology, and society. Over the next year, IUSSTF will conduct a series of roundtables and workshops to gather input from different stakeholder communities and prepare white papers that identify technical, research, infrastructure and workforce opportunities and challenges and domain-specific opportunities for R&D in healthcare, smart cities, materials, agriculture, energy and manufacturing. And now we go back to GS Paper 3. This piece of update is related to environment. Union Minister for Road Transport and Highways Nitin Gadkari unveiled the vehicle scrapping policy on the 18th of March. The Union government proposed to offer a road tax rebate of up to 25% for personal vehicles and up to 15% for commercial vehicles. The vehicle manufacturers are also advised to provide a discount of 5% on purchase of new vehicles against the scrapping certificate. Now, what does this really mean? The registration fee may also be waived for purchase of a new vehicle against the scrapping certificate. Scrap value for the old vehicle given by the scrapping center, which is approximately 4 to 6% of ex-showroom price of a new vehicle. Announced first in the Union Budget 2021, the policy seeks to reduce population of old and defective vehicles, achieve reduction in vehicular air pollutants to fulfill India's climate commitments, improve road and vehicular safety, achieve better fuel efficiency, formalize the currently informal vehicle scrapping industry, and boost availability of low-cost raw materials for automotive, steel, and electronics industry. Nitin Gadkari said older vehicles pollute the environment 10 to 12 times more than fit vehicles and pose a risk to road safety, and the policy is aimed at creating an ecosystem for phasing out of unfit and polluting vehicles. The criteria for a vehicle to be scrapped is primarily based on the fitness of vehicles through automated fitness centers in case of commercial vehicles and non-renewal of registration in case of private vehicles. Criteria to determine vehicle fitness will be primarily emission tests, braking, safety equipment, among many other tests which are as per the Central Motor Vehicle Rules 1989. Commercial vehicles are deregistered after 15 years in case of failure to get the fitness certificate. Private vehicles be deregistered after 20 years if found unfit or in case of a failure to renew registration certificate. As a disincentive measure, increased re-registration fee will be applicable for private vehicles 15 years onwards from the date of initial registration. All vehicles of the central government, state government, municipal corporation, panchayats, state transport undertakings, public sector undertakings and autonomous bodies with the union and state governments may be deregistered and scrapped after 15 years from the date of registration. The Ministry of Road Transport and Highways will also promote setting up of registered vehicle scrapping facility across India and will encourage public and private participation for opening up of such centers. That's it in this edition of KSG News. Stay tuned for more such updates to help with your exam preparations. KSG India proudly announces the commencement of center batches for offline coaching at Delhi, Vijayanagar, Delhi, Rajendra Nagar, Jaipur, Bhopal and Indore centers, making sure students' health and safety and also the targeted approach towards UPSC Civil Services examination preparation. Visit www.ksgindia.com for batch queries.